Hello, gardeners. I'm going to share my fruit trees progress with you today and also show you how I make my miracle organic tea. A few weeks ago, I took a paint straining bag I got from Home Depot and I filled it with Comfrey and put it in a 5-gallon bucket and filled it with water and put a lid on it. This is what the tea looks like after it's been steeping for several weeks. And I'm going to reach in there here and it smells. And here's the bag of Comfrey. And I'm going to squeeze it out. And I'm going to pause the video for a second. I'm sorry. I can't do it. So here are the remnants of what was in the painter's bag. And I'll just put it over there in my compost bin and I'll open it up later and spread it out. Now, I'm going to take one of these jugs right here, fill it up. And I could do it two ways. I can pour some right over there into the 33-gallon water can that I collected rainwater in, and I can add all of the other ingredients and just dip my bucket in there, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'll be back in a few. Yesterday, I added a sack of homemade compost to this rainwater. And now I'm going to add 8 ounces of fish fertilizer and 8 ounces of liquid kelp. All of this is organic. And I showed you guys how to do this in a previous video. And because I'm trying to do all of this with one hand on my cell phone, I'm going to stop and actually do it. But I'm going to show you what I use, a little stick to stir it all up, so that I'm just mocking that. But I'm actually going to pause the video and come back and show you what it looks like. While I was stirring up my miracle organic tea, I noticed a beautiful swallowtail butterfly feasting off of the nectar on my zinnias. And every year I plant dill because dill is the host plant. And you can see that a cocoon was eating, or some people call them worms. There's one picture. It was eating all of the dill that I planted. Sometimes I can sit there for hours and see 5, 6 swallowtail butterflies. My grandchildren really love it. Okay, so I got sidetracked by the beautiful butterfly, but notice the 2 flies on my watering can. They are attracted to the foul smell of comfrey. Okay, so here's the tea. It smells awful, but it's very nutritious. You can see that brown color there with the comfrey is the ingredient that stinks. And I get the comfrey from those leaves over there. And then I told you guys I put compost and I put fish emulsion. I have an odorless one, so it doesn't smell that bad. And kelp. And I give all my trees a little of it. After I water them, I do this once a month. So you can see the ground is already wet, so it'll easily absorb this potent tea. Okay, bye. I have to be honest with you guys. This tea stinks and is going to attract flies and other non-beneficial insects. So after I fed my trees my miracle tea, I always go back and spray a little neem oil and water around the base of the plant. That would disguise the scent from the tea. You want to attract a lot of bugs, non-beneficial bugs, to your area. In the case of pomegranate, since the base of the tree is not so big, I kind of spray a little bit all over it. And here. And actually, I do it all around my whole food forest, because you know I water the container plants too. And here's another good shot at the comfrey, what it looks like. I started them with rhinestones, I guess that's what you call little bulbs. And then they just kept multiplying. Okay, so that's it for now. I think I'm gonna pick this watermelon. It's not ready, but I want it. Anytime I see diseased leaves, especially with that brown spot fungus, I gather those and I take them in the house and put them in the trash. I don't put them in the compost. Okay? Wow, isn't that a pretty sight? Do you guys remember when I had that tree heavily pruned by my landscaper? So beautiful. It's bloomed out and it still allows a great deal of sunshine to come into the yard. And I planted watermelon all along here at the top of the bottom of the hugelkultur. And that is comfrey that you see that I grow just to make fertilizer. And right there is the Beijing grass. More comfrey in this area at the base of the hugelkultur. And right over in there is the yellow meat watermelon that I planted, and it's sprawling everywhere. All the way in front of my she shed. The grapevines that I grew from cuttings last winter are doing wonderful. I have 3 in the ground and 2 in a pot. And this is the plum tree, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, nectarine that I bought on sale from Stark Brothers. Against what all of my gardening books say, don't plant in the late spring, early summer. I did anyway, and I'm seeing life. And I think just as long as you watch them carefully, you can plant them anytime. And I will shade it if I have to. There's the bird bath that I bought. I thought it was a perfect spot where the birds can come because they're always in that tree. And it's really a crepe myrtle bush, but when it's almost 30 years old, it turns into a tree. And I can just empty the water every day and let it water the tree. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Because if I feed the birds and give them something to drink, they won't peck on my fruit. And here is a tree that I haven't put in the ground yet. It's an apple tree. And I think this is going to be the spot where it's going to go. Here's the Bartlett pear. My neighbor has diseased trees right across there. And the wind blows, and of course, you know, when it's rain, the fungus would travel. So I'm picking all of the bad leaves off, and then I'm going to prune this bad boy, just like I did this one over here last year. And I trimmed it all the way down to where you see that cut. Right across there. Right there. And these are the bad leaves I pulled off of it this morning. I'll gather those up, put them in the garbage so that fungus won't spread. And here's another pear tree. This one is a kefir. It's doing the best out of all of the pear trees I have. I have 1, 2, and 3. And this is a Fuji apple, and the other one over here that's doing wonderful is a Galatian. I hope I pronounced that right. Anyway, look at the trunk of that tree. It's huge, and I just got this one this year, so I'm doing something right. The Fuji tree, Fuji, Persimmon Fuyu tree is doing really, really well. You guys know it dropped all its fruit because it couldn't handle it. Only saved 1, and it's getting bigger. And every day I keep saying I'm going to go ahead and put a net over here so I can get some sunshine. But I keep forgetting to do it. I'm going to make sure I do it today. And this tree gets some little black spots, but it doesn't affect the fruit, according to my research. Here are my pomegranate trees, these 2 right here. And I have, for the first time, pomegranates to stay on the tree. And I think that one's going to make it. I'm going to put an organza bag on this one and this one. I'm not going to worry about these 2 because I have a feeling, well, 3, I think they're going to fall off. And here's another nice one right there. And on this tree, believe it or not, I got these trees at the same time. This one grows more vigorously. I think it might be the rootstock, but we have here, we have some twins over here. There's one there. I could keep going on and on, guys. It's a lot of fruit on this tree. I would say about 12. Here and there. But anyway, the fruit trees are doing really well. Here are my 2 cherry trees. I bought on sale at Stark Brothers Beirut online. This is the Rainier Sweet Cherry. And this one is the Santa Rosa Plum. So that's not a cherry tree. The other cherry tree must be over here. Yes. And it was showing some signs of growth, black Tartarian cherry on the standard rootstock. But when I came back from vacation, it was a little brown. So it's going to get thoroughly watered today in my specialty. It'll be okay. All right, that's it for now. Bye. I found some yellow meat watermelons. Yay! From the seeds that I planted in my hugelkultur in March. I'm excited about that. I know I said you could check out why I use certain ingredients, organic ingredients in my tea, but I felt like maybe I need to share this again with my new subscribers. Comfrey is an excellent organic liquid fertilizer that you can use. It's very easy to make. People use it because it is an herb for medicinal purposes on their hair, skin, and digestion. But the reason why I use it, and a lot of gardeners that are growing organically, because it has the perfect blend of nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, manganese, and calcium that you need to help your flowers bloom, grow, and fruit. So everything that you need is right there in that comfrey leaf. If you can take the odor of making it, then you won't be using a lot of expensive products. Whenever somebody see a very bountiful harvest that I have, they always want to ask me what fertilizer I use. They think it must be something, a secret, a miracle product that I'm using, and I'm not. I use what God has blessed me to learn about and learn to use it organically. Now, another ingredient that I added in the tea today is homemade compost. Now, I'm not going to waste time on that because I know you guys know the benefits of putting back into the earth what your plants took out. So composting is a wonderful thing. The fish fertilizer is just an emulsion of fish, and it has a very high amount of nitrogen. Not like too much nitrogen that would burn your plants or make them grow too big, but just enough to give it that little boost that it needs. Now, some fish emulsions smell, but this one doesn't. It's an odorless brand, so I suggest that you buy this Alaskan brand if you want to try it. And when you see some of your plants yellowing, a lot of times that'll be an indication of a nitrogen deficiency. And so whenever I see that in my garden, when I see yellowing of my leaves, I just put a little fish emulsion in a gallon of water and put it directly where it is needed. Now, the best way to use the fish emulsion, like I said, is like in the spring. I use it once a month. It just depends. I like to put mine on early in the morning after I have watered my garden, and that way I know that it'll absorb it very quickly. And also know this, that this fish emulsion will not burn your leaves as long as you dilute it the way the manufacturer suggests. It'll be really cool product to use, and you're going to notice right away how your plants green up. Some people even use it on their lawn. The manufacturer recommends that you use about a half an ounce to a gallon of water, and I might add a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on what I need. You can use water right out of the tap, out of your faucet. However, I like to put it in rainwater. Now, let's move on and talk a little bit about liquid organic kelp. I stumbled across liquid organic kelp when I was looking for some information on how I could protect my plants from excessive heat and wind. You know, we get a lot of, we have really drought periods in North Texas. We have a rainy period in the spring, and the later part of the spring and the summer, we have a heavy drought with high winds. So I was looking for something that would stimulate natural root growth and kind of help me keep the plants alive during this period. And that's when I found liquid kelp. And you guys need to know that it is a product that is made from the highest quality of seaweed. Now, before I started using this product, I was using a granular seaweed product that I was mixing with water, but because this one's in a liquid form, it's very easy to dispense. You only need a little bit of it and it'll go a long way. And some of the benefits of the liquid kelp is it also helps in seed germination. So I use this when I'm starting my seedlings in my home in January for my spring garden. Another thing that it will do, it'll help you increase your bloom sets. Like if you have tomato plants or flowers that aren't blooming, give it a little kelp. It also will stabilize the chlorophyll in your plants, which will help you get darker, healthier leaves and increase the sugar content in your plants. So I love to use this liquid kelp on my peppers. Have you ever had a cucumber that was a little bitter? Start using a little kelp every month and you'll see that your plants will do much better. And as I said earlier, it'll help your plant relieve stress that's caused by extreme weather conditions. I hope you've seen something today that will have inspired you or motivate you, and that's the purpose of my video. I don't think I will ever have enough subscribers to make any money off of YouTube. In fact, when I first started making videos, I didn't even know you could make money off of YouTube videos. I'm retired and I just want to help people, because when I started gardening years ago, 20, 30 years ago, there wasn't any social media. Everything I learned from my grandparents, listening to old timers, or just buying a lot of books. But today, you new gardeners, you younger gardeners are fortunate to have what we old people didn't have. I wish you the best. Thank you for watching my video. Take care. Bye now.